just when it seemed like we had a flip of the house yesterday, last night things changed back around. And a lot of that had to do because Cameron finally decided to campaign with less than 48 hours left before the vote. Cameron campaigning to Cirie kind of gave her an insight into Cameron that she did not yet have, or at least some information that she did not yet have. And that was that Cameron himself has been targeting Hussam this entire week as well, whereas Cirie and Izzy felt like he was going to run right to Hussam, although, to be real, Cameron staying, he might run to Hussam if he does stay in this game, and if it is a need of his. We've seen Cameron already be a bit of a flip-flop. As for Cirie and Izzy, though, I said yesterday that Cirie overplayed, and the reason she overplayed was because she went and did too much before talking to enough people or getting enough people's okay. She kind of hindered her own social game with the memes and even with, I would say, Corey a little when it came to doing too much. They should have just waited instead of going to Riley and trying to form a whole new big alliance because they thought the vote was going to stay. That is jumping the gun when you don't have all the information, which Cirie didn't, where Cameron was concerned that Cameron wants Hussam out as well. And so if all these targets are on Hussam, why are we doing so much here to keep Riley? So after that, it seemed like Cirie and Izzy's cooler heads prevail, although Izzy just kind of does whatever Cirie wants her to. Izzy is 100% a soldier for Cirie, one of quite a few in that house. Now, while I do think they overplayed, I don't know if it's that bad of a situation yet. You would think would have put a bigger target on their backs, and they are kind of being seen as like the deciders of this vote, maybe even the masterminds of the house. And if that keeps up, that's not good for either Cirie or Izzy. Probably more so Izzy, although she has information that she could, blow a bomb up in the house with knowing Cirie and Jared are related. Although I've been thinking, like, if it comes out, Cirie and Jared should just deny, and make Izzy look crazy. They might be able to pull that off, although with the way Jared's talked too much in this house, that probably won't be the case. I don't know if they could deny, and truly get away with that. But yes, cooler heads did prevail. Corey and Jared and Mimi didn't even want to go through with it in the first place, which is what I mean by they were pushing for this flip without some of their stronger allies on board with this. They were willing to go along with it, but I think both Cirie and Izzy realized that they didn't really want to go along with it. So they flipped back last night, and so far today, it seems that the goal is still to get Cameron out of the house. Of course, there is still around 24 hours until the vote. So maybe there will be some more spiraling, some more flip-flopping. I said in my cast assessment that this cast reminds me of a Big Brother Canada cast. Yesterday, I compared it to Big Brother Canada 5. Today, I can compare it to Big Brother Canada 9, where the Sunsetters would just flip back and forth the entire week. But it makes for good feeds and it makes for good TV. I would much rather have the group really go through the options rather than just sit down like most seasons and vote with the HOH and vote with the house. It's boring, and the casts that do that are not playing for themselves. I don't care how much people want to preach that you have to have these big-ass alliances to win Big Brother. The fact is, in those games, people, the vast majority, are not playing for themselves. This cast is playing for themselves so far, and I respect that. Now, Cirie and Izzy did way too much and probably hurt their social games for the time being. I think they could get out of it, though, easily. It's all going to depend on who wins the next HOH, of course. So I'm not even going to talk about those possibilities until Friday when I see who won the HOH and I see who went home, of course, as well. A lot of commenters were talking about Mimi, liking Mimi's style, that she gets the game. And I agree. I said this yesterday. I agree that she is the logical player who gets the Big Brother game. However, I disagree with some of those comments. I already commented back that Mimi isn't playing right to fit that style, though. If she wants to play the Big Alliance game, she needs to make more connections. Mimi does not have anyone in this game right now. Nobody is Mimi's number one. Whether in her view or in their view, Mimi is very disposable to most of this cast. And that is not somebody who should be playing in a Big Alliance, in my opinion. Now, there's people that keep reaching out to her, and today, once again, it seemed like America and Nicole had talked it out again that they need to work together. They're kind of on the bottom of both alliances. They could get info for each other. Once again, I have to reiterate that there's not a split house. There's going to be, if Riley goes, there's 3 people left on that side of the house. That's not a split house. But regardless, they are both kind of in the middle. Corey is as well, although Corey has far more connections than both of them, which I think is a good thing right now for Corey. And it's something that America and Nicole are lacking. America is wanting to play this floater game, and I think she has it in her. I'm still not sold on her social game, and I don't know if she trusts Mimi, so I don't know if Mimi should trust her. That's kind of the problem with those two and their game in general. Yesterday I said that Nicole needs to trust Corey, but what I mean by that, it's not like she needs to trust Corey completely and trust Corey with her game, but Corey constantly gives Nicole true information. And Nicole does not always trust all the information because she doesn't trust Corey. She needs to do more trusting. Nicole can't go through this entire game trusting nobody, or it's not going to work out for her in the end, unless she's lucky like Josh Martinez, which is what I said in the comments. She's going to need someone in this game, at least to an extent, because right now she does not have anybody looking out for her. So she needs to look out for herself by making a little bit more stronger connections. Lastly, I don't have a lot of time tonight. I want to talk about the episode a little bit. The speech, the veto speech by Hassam, of course it was nothing. They made a big deal out of nothing. I don't know if that is because, I see like they kind of played it for a game, to use it as a way to make people feel sorry for Riley. But I'm sick of that. And that is something I definitely agree with Nicole about, that is all Riley uses is her tears. Mimi was 100% right about that. At the same time, though, I also kind of feel like Gen Z is just maybe a little... And in saying this, I shit a lot on Gen Z in this game because they deserve it. They have not played well at all. The Gen Z players outside of Jared and Corey now have not played well at all. But that foursome continues to be the reason Riley's going home. They make it so obvious they're not going to have any cracks in them. They're all going to stick together. Why wouldn't people still want to vote Riley out this week? Seeing how hard Jag and Matt and Blue go for Riley, it's crazy. Of course they want to vote Riley out of the game, seeing all of that. And it's dumb of them to be so obvious, but they've been so obvious this entire game so far. And even today, Riley was like, you all need to work harder for me to stay, when they've been doing all the work for Riley to stay. And yet the Gen Zers there in that little foursome, like I've been saying this whole time also, are pushovers, and they do a little way too much for Riley, and it has hurt their games so far, doing too much for Riley. So they continue to be their own worst enemy. That being said, as much as I've shit on the Gen Zers for talking so much in this game, I have to shit on the Gen Xer and the Millennial, Suri and Izzy. The amount of talking they've done in the last 48 hours, way too much. To turn this full circle here, they were playing just like the Gen Zers the last 48 hours. Way too much talking, doing way too much, putting themselves in a harder position for the next week possibly because of pushing their agenda without getting some of their own allies on board. Not the smartest thing there at all. Lastly, Hassam on the episode, I liked his DR about how Riley needs to take more accountability. Agreed 100%. I found myself agreeing with Hassam in the episode, even though they were also painting him for a possible future downfall, which is probably what the producers are looking forward to if that's the way they edited the episode. I still kind of hope he sticks around a little while longer for the drama. I still don't like the guy, but I just wish he would embrace the fact that he too is a villain. He is not the person he is trying to make his persona in the game. I just wish more people would see themselves as the villain, but nobody wants to see themselves as the villain, even though it makes for better TV too. But Hassam is delusional like most of the people that play these games. Huh?